Hi Jeff from sunny Scotland. Video Pencil lets you draw on anything using your iPad. People have told me that they went from more or less keeping their iPad in a drawer to using it every day since they got Video Pencil. They told me that when they use it for live streams, their numbers go through the roof, but other people tell me they had trouble setting it up. So today I'm going to do my best to explain how to get started. So grab your Mac and your iPad and let's go. Welcome to Squares TV App Lab number 81, where we talk about Video Pencil, Shoot and QAM Presenter. This is a lab on after hours. I'm going out live on YouTube. I'm Michael Forrest and I make apps and also other weird stuff, artistic things. And I apologise, I had an extra slide in there from last week still, so I'm just going to delete that card because I thought I was going to titles and then I had one of those awkward live staring gormlessly moments. But yeah, and just to warn you this week, I've noticed that I spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to demo things live on these streams, and I think today is going to be the usual challenge as I sort of try and reconcile demo mode. So because I'm using the tools to demonstrate the tools, and a solution would be to, you know, have QCam or whatever I'm demonstrating running on a different machine and just like bring the HDMI in from a different machine and do it that way, but that comes with all sorts of different problems. So I'm just always trying to like build these features into QCam that make it easier to demonstrate QCam stuff, but Video Pencil as well. There's some stuff I've done to make it a bit easier to demonstrate Video Pencil with QCam than it would be sort of using eCam or something, because I can sort of like selectively send different things to the iPad to if I'm currently showing the iPad screen, so that we don't get feedback. It's just all about avoiding that infinite video feedback. But yeah, so bear with me as I try and present this stuff. But yeah, updates. I shipped the new version of QCam on Friday, 2.2.0. I haven't heard of any major problems yet, although I've noticed a couple of niggles, which is making me cry. But if you have been paying attention, then you'll know that I transformed my quality control process to make sure that it doesn't do anything weird when you first take it out of the box, and I think that's sort of proving okay. But what we're going to see is like basically I sort of see I saw the sort of subscriber, like the monthly recurring revenue was sort of going up like that to start with, and then it's sort of been sort of like churning quite a lot. But this week it's sort of looking like that a bit again. But I'm just hoping that sort of this improvement will sort of mean that this line sort of can keep going up instead of half the people that try it getting frustrated and sort of like giving up, which is not what we want. So this is why the quality control thing is such a priority for me at the moment. I have been travelling as well, so I was in London for a couple of days over the weekend, so I didn't get as much done as usual, and I hope you won't hold that against me. So my main job this week is to get Video Pencil documentation and videos up to date. There's still too much, so on the website for Video Pencil and the screenshots, there's still too much stuff about NDI and Video Pencil camera, and these things are largely irrelevant in a world where QAM Presenter exists. QAM Presenter is basically a replacement for Video Pencil camera and a much easier way of connecting than doing NDI stuff. So it is Mac specific, so that's the only thing. So we still need some stuff about NDI for PCs and sort of classroom situations. But I think for like Mac users, you know, QCam is the way we're going to do things. So with that, let's watch a baby getting concerned about a draw, and then we're going to talk about Video Pencil. He was very concerned about that draw. So this is my AI generated blackboard. I was just talking to John about you're trying to get AI to generate I would like the blackboard to fill the entire frame, but good luck getting ChatGPT or you to sort of fill the frame in the way you want. But we'll go with this. I don't know. I thought I'd sort of set this. I'd rather this was here. But anyway. So Video Pencil, I'm just going to take you through the very basics of Video Pencil. So Video Pencil lets you draw. So you can draw a smiley face like this. You can use different colors. You can use green. which, if you've ever done this, well, if you've ever done the sort of chroma key approach to drawing on your webcam with like eCam or OBS or something, then you'll know that that's not something, or even like any sort of keying thing, you'll know that that's not something that you necessarily should take for granted. You can edit. So I can, on my iPad, I can sort of, well, I can move it around. Oops, I've got to be careful about that. You can, where's my selection tool? There's a lot of glare on my iPad screen right now. So I could sort of move that over there, or I could sort of select it and delete it, or I could copy this face and duplicate it, and then I've got two faces, right? So you can do all that kind of thing. You can laser point. So I can select my laser pointer and I can talk about, okay, we're going to do some laser pointer stuff. And so that's a really good way if you want to sort of indicate something on the screen without actually drawing. That's quite handy. You can spotlight content as well. So you could say, oh, let's talk about, like just this area of the screen, and draw something here. Or maybe it would be better to spotlight. Let's just talk about this area of the screen, and now it's really easy to sort of draw and focus on that. You can also do the thing that we all love. Sparkles. And that is something that, if you ever pull that out on a video call, people are going to remember you because it's fun. You can draw. What can you draw on? Well, you can draw on your webcam. You can draw on your desktop. You can draw on images. You can draw on videos. And basically anything you can sort of get up onto the screen, you're going to be able to draw on. And you're always going to be able to see exactly where you're drawing right on the iPad screen. So that's another difference to doing this with other techniques. You can see what you're drawing on. So I can draw accurately around my face if I don't move too much, right? Like I can accurately draw, I can accurately see exactly where I am. And it means that I can sort of draw up here. I know that this space is empty at the moment. And that's actually one of the reasons that I have this plain background, is just it makes it much easier to sort of throw a picture up just about anywhere that I want. Whereas if I had like bookshelves or synths behind me, then that's harder to find a spot to draw. But there are things that we can do to make that work as well. You can use, so just to cover this, you can use a Mac. Ideally, I like this with an Apple Silicon Mac. I think if you can get yourself an Apple Silicon Mac, you're going to have such a great time compared to any of the other solutions. But it does work on Intel as well. Or you can use a PC. If you use NDI, it's a bit more set up, but it is possible to use. You can just use it on an Apple TV. So if you just want to I have someone who was involved in Video Pencil from the start, who takes Video Pencil on an iPad into a teaching lab, a medical teaching lab, where they have microscopes, and those microscopes have USB cameras, and a USB camera can be connected to the iPad and selected within Video Pencil, and you can draw and put that on the Apple TV screen for everyone to see. So if one of your students is doing something, you can sort of show that to everyone and draw on it, and in a classroom. So it's really useful in sort of real life situations. And then if you've got any sort of NDI setup, it's going to integrate really well with that. And the advantage, the nice thing with the NDI is, so it can bring NDI in, so you can put whatever you want on the screen of the iPad, and then it has a transparent NDI out, so you can just overlay that over anything. You don't have to do any extra keying. Oh yeah, as I say, you can just use your iPad. So if you just want to sort of load up a picture, draw on it, you could do that anywhere. But I mean, that sort of makes more sense for video, for example. So if you had a video you wanted to show, you could just quickly draw on it for someone and show them it to them. And I've had this question about what model. So basically, you don't need an iPad Pro or anything, but anything after 2017, any iPads made after 2017 should work really well. And that's because the transparency video codec is hardware accelerated since about 2017. So I use HEVC video encoding to send out that transparent thing. So it's just the slightly newer iPads, not even that new now, that's 7 years. But if your sort of iPad 4 is not going to be very happy with it, but anything that's got that HEVC video codec in the hardware is going to work. So 2017-ish should be good. And that's like not an expensive iPad necessarily. Like you can probably secondhand get one for like 150 quid, 100 quid probably, that will support it and work well with it. So how do you set it up? Because, and this is another question I've had a couple of times, Video Pencil doesn't work directly in Zoom. So if you, or Teams or whatever, so if you just use Zoom to share your desktop, you wouldn't be able to draw on that with Video Pencil. We need a layer in between. So you need a virtual camera that you select in Zoom. And there's lots of different ways to get that, but the easiest way is using the free version of QAM Presenter. That is the best practice, best way to use Video Pencil on your Mac with Zoom. So all that does, and I'll show you how that works now. But just to sort of let you know where to go, on your iPad, so you need to install Video Pencil. So Video Pencil is an iPad app. It will actually run on a Mac, but that's for a fairly esoteric use case. So it's sort of like set up so that if you have a Wacom tablet, then you can use it to draw, and it sort of behaves a bit differently. So if you've got Apple Silicon, it will actually work. But generally you're going to install it on your iPad, and that's going to give you features that won't work if you're just using it with a tablet. And then on your Mac, you're going to want to go to CueCam.app and just download that. You don't have to sign up for anything. You can just download it. It's going to like pop up a maybe we could be friends, but you can just download that. And and then I guess just to cover sort of how pricing works for Video Pencil. So the way things work in this video world is we put watermarks on things. So you can use all the features of Video Pencil and QAM Presenter, right? Like just out the box. But with Video Pencil, there's a $40 unlock, $39 unlock, which removes the watermark. So you can use all the features, but it's going to say Video Pencil in the corner unless you've paid your $40. However, if you use Video Pencil with QAM Presenter on a Mac and you have an active subscription, then that also gets rid of the Video Pencil watermark. So what that means is, like, if you just want to sort of pay once for Video Pencil and you're probably going to use it in different situations, that $39 purchase is the right one. However, if you just want to try it out, especially if you're a student, you could maybe start out paying like, sort of $6.99 a month or something and just sort of turn it on and off when you need it. And that might actually be a bit of a more affordable option. And then like QCam, once you get into QCam, I hope you start to love it. But that's to remove the Video Pencil watermark. But if you already have removed the watermark, then QCam you don't have to pay to do the Video Pencil stuff at all. That's just once you start using the more powerful, the presentation side of QAM Presenter, which you do not need to use to do any of the stuff I'm going to show you today. Okay, so I made QAM Presenter so that you can use Video Pencil without needing to use those things, and I'm going to just show you what it's going to generally look like for you. So this is what you're generally going to see. This is, please work, demo mode, please work. What are you seeing? Let's see. Where's my eCam window? Yeah, okay, so we're having that thing. Sometimes my screen shares in demo mode go weird. All right, I'm just going to freeze. Again, we're going to just try that again. And hopefully this time, oh, come on, man. All right, I just heard a chat message. Hey, Neil, how you doing? I know what the problem is, because I do not have a default screen share, which means that an assumption that is baked into my demo mode thing maybe doesn't work. Oh, no, it's not that at all. Ooh, this is so upsetting. Okay, let me just try this one more time. I did warn you that this was going to happen, but this is actually like first hurdle. Okay, let me just please go into demo mode. Hey, okay, third time lucky. Okay, right. This is what you're going to see on your Mac. And I'll show you the Video Pencil screen as well, don't worry. But like, this is the thing that you need on your Mac that's going to let you share stuff. So let me just get back to where I was in my demo. Okay, so let's see. So what have we got here? So we've got, this is QAM Presenter. Download it, use it for free. It's actually got remote control. Whoops. It's actually got remote control features. You can fully remote control Video Pencil from inside here. So if I were to click on here, you would see like all the Video Pencil features are sort of coming through. So if I drew something, if I drew something, it's going to let me kind of like clear that, clear drawing. We've got stuff like that. I'm hearing chat messages. I just always have to check that I'm not having a technical problem. Cyprian, hello. And then basically, once this is up and running, whenever you draw, that's just going to like go through to your webcam. So you select in Zoom, you select QAM Presenter, and I'll show you how that works in a sec. But that's just going to, any of the drawings, it's just going to connect wirelessly, and you're just going to be able to draw. And then you've got these options here. So I can click like share an app, share a screen, share a window, share an Apple device, share a second camera, share an image, share a video. So if I were to just like, I could just, I'm on a Zoom call, I'm talking to my dad. In fact, I did this yesterday, drag on a video, and now we've got a video. That's just there, I'm picture in picture. I can sort of say, okay, here's this. We can sort of like go through the video, we can play that back, we get sound, we can play it at like fast motion. Can we? That's interesting. Yeah, so we can sort of like do all the video stuff. We get this sort of a side 3D feature. So like you've got all this stuff that this app gets you. We can throw some text on screen. But you see, but really it's like, okay, I can put whatever I want on screen and then I can draw on it. And then really like the sort of QAM has grown to allow you to draw on more different things. But yeah, that's basically, the thing that you're going to install. So how does that look? So if we exit demo mode again, now that we've proved that can work, if we have a look here, so this is the installation process. So I'm just going to take you through this nice and slow. So, and yeah, I am still talking about Video Pencil, right? I'm still talking about Video Pencil, but I'm just showing you how to use it on your Mac. QAM is, again, as I say, the easiest way to use it on your Mac. So I'm showing you how to install QAM, which then just lets you pick up your iPad and draw on your webcam via QAM's webcam, right? So here's how that looks. So first you download it from the website, then you double click on that thing and you're going to drag it into applications. And then once that's done, you're going to be able to double click on that application. It's going to launch. It's going to say, this was checked for malicious software and it was fine. And then we're going to continue and it's going to say, okay, it's going to ask for some permission. So basically, in order to allow you to draw on your camera, we need camera access in QAM because we're going to like pipe that through. In order to be able to send audio through to get your mic, like that's a more advanced feature. You don't necessarily need to do that. Although if you want the sparkles sound to work automatically, then that's a good reason to use the virtual mic. So yeah, it's going to ask for a few permissions and you're going to do this stuff. So you're going to access the camera, you're going to say, yes, please check automatically for updates. And then there's going to be the screen sharing and system settings. So there's a few little bits and bobs it's going to ask for, and that will show you a nice checklist. Apple sort of does tend to throw up a lot of these boxes. You're going to see the sort of camera extension. This looks different now, actually. I should probably you get this system extension. It's explained within the app as well. So it's got this system extension thing that you've got to do. Blocked, you've got to click open, not the blue button, the bottom one. Go into here, you've got to click this allow button here. It sort of sits here. This, you're going to be guided through this right within the app, but there are a few little bits and bobs, and I did see that my dad's been using QAM, but he still hasn't installed the virtual mic, which to me is one of the easiest parts, so I don't know why, but fine. It's going to ask you to do that. So it's just a few little bits just to get started, but then once you've done that, you're going to have QAM that you can select in Zoom, and then you can just use that and you're going to be able to draw on your calls, and you're going to be able to do so much other stuff like bring in a video, bring in a picture, share your screen sort of through QAM. And then yeah, just remember that like if you're sharing stuff, you have to do it in QAM. If you do the sharing stuff in Zoom, that's not going to sort of get piped through to Video Pencil, and you're not going to be able to see it on the iPad, you're not going to be able to draw on it. You have to sort of like get used to doing all your sharing in QAM. So just to say that again, you need Video Pencil on your iPad. You need CueCam on your Mac. You select CueCam in Zoom, and now you can draw in all of your Zoom calls at a moment's notice. It's really nice because you don't have to like set something up, switch to something else. You just got to grab the iPad, launch Video Pencil, you can draw, right? So that's the sort of selling point of all this. So drawing on your webcam, I'm going to show you what that feels like. So I think, let's see, is this going to go to my iPad? So on my iPad screen, which is just, for some reason it takes a second, I'm sure I've got, so this is what Video Pencil looks like, if you're not aware. So we've got some different areas. We've got a little kind of settings and media stuff up in the top up here. Let's just go to the arrows. So we've got, yeah, like the settings and stuff up here. We've got, but we've got your drawing tools down here. I'll just pull this over here. And this is actually like the remote controls for CueCam. So I can like kind of move the iPad out of the way by pressing this little button here. I can move that in and out. But anyway, let's not get distracted. So you're going to have your drawing tools. Each one of these is customizable. So if I pop this up, I can change the color, I can change the thickness. We've got some beautiful looking different pen styles to represent the different thicknesses. That's something I spent a bit of time on. We've got the eraser tool there, which you can either have it to erase objects, or you can sort of erase pixels. You can change the size of that. So it's like what you'd expect, really, from like your Apple Pencil thing. Sometimes the video freezes on demo mode. Don't worry about it. Like, this isn't too bad a frame, so we'll just leave it. You've got a laser pointer here. So this lets you sort of draw stuff like that. That's an extra in-app purchase, but not if you have a QCam license. And then we've got the little magical sparkles tool there, and you've got your spotlight tool, so you can sort of zoom in on an area and then it will go back to whatever tool you were just using, and you can sort of like highlight whatever you want to highlight, and then the clear drawing button. You've also got a little oh, there we go. I wonder where that blockage is. And then you've got you can share that drawing as well. So if you wanted to, if you did a nice drawing, you could actually save that out as a PNG, and I'm going to be doing some more stuff with that. But yeah, so but the nice thing is, like, my camera feed is on my screen, so I can see exactly where I'm drawing because it's on the iPad screen. And then anything else that I'm sharing, like if I'm sharing my desktop, if I'm sharing a video on the Mac, I'm able to like draw on that. And then there's some really cool stuff that's a bit harder to demonstrate on the iPad thing, because it's a bit harder to demonstrate iPad screen sharing via the screen share. But I think this feels quite cool, doesn't it? Like I can sort of show you that I'm doing something here, what's coming up on my screen. So you can see on the iPad it looks like that, but you see up here we've got all this stuff going on. Drawing on your desktop is basically a process of selecting your screen. So what you'll do, and this is quite annoying to demonstrate, but to draw on your desktop, you are going to basically by default you're just going to click share screen, and you're just going to click on the screen you want to share, and then that's going to go through to the iPad. You're going to be able to draw on it. You're actually going to be able to pinch to zoom in on it as well, but let me see. I think it's not going to work because we're in demo mode. If I click on that, I can share that. But if I just show you, if I come out of demo, I can click share screen, share this screen. Now, like, I'm sharing that. We've got that infinite loop thing. I've accidentally doxing my. I was gonna have this as my the Discord maybe as the thing. We have not done the thing. So what we've got here is here's a screen share. I can now sort of perfectly, oh yeah, except we've got like a weird thing going on there. So I can perfectly like highlight stuff. Is this or not? Because yeah, we've got that weird like, I think there's like a backlog of video frames coming through to the iPad somehow, but yeah. We're out of demo mode. But anyway, yeah, you can share your desktop and you can draw on it, and that's all very nice. And you could sort of like highlight an area, and you could like sort of zoom in from the iPad. You could sort of like find the thing that you want. This is last week's thing. I can just zoom in on there, and I could sort of like say, okay, what's this here? Like, look at this, do this, clear that, reset the zoom. So yeah, you can just, if you share your desktop through QCam, then you're just going to be able to draw on it. You're going to see that come through to the iPad. Drawing on a picture is there's lots of ways to do this, but actually, like, so you can either draw a picture that you've shared from your, like, through CueCam, or you can actually just like load pictures on the iPad. So if I sort of go back to the iPad share, which it thought it was doing, let's see. Right, so if I go back to the iPad share, like up here we've got this media menu, so you can just like select something from your media library. So you can pick from photos, but I've got a couple of things pre-selected. So if I wanted to share this mushroom picture, I could sort of like talk about that. And like say, okay, we're talking about the scales, we're talking about the spores, this is the mycelium. So it's sort of easy to do that, and you can sort of like move that around wherever you want, and sort of zoom and pan that. And then sort of the same thing goes for videos, and I always kind of use, what have we got here? What videos have we got? I've got this sort of, maybe, this is the one, but this is sort of like out of date. So you can sort of show a video on there. You can sort of zoom in, zoom out, like move it around and talk about it. You can actually, like, you see this one. There's some quite advanced features in Video Pencil just on the iPad where you see this is like a sort of multi-stage video. So if I press play, it's going to play. Let's reset that zoom. If we play, it's going to stop there. If I play again, it's going to sort of draw the next bit. If I play again, it's going to draw the next bit. So there's some sort of video features in there. But yeah, again, like you might want to show a little sports, something from, you might have a few videos from sports day or whatever, or from your training session. You can load those onto the iPad, open them up, you can play them at like half speed, play them, and sort of annotate them and do that telestration stuff. So you can do that directly on the iPad, but like you can also like do it via that dashboard on the Mac. So you can just drag a picture into the dashboard on the Mac, and that's also going to go onto the iPad in the same way for you to draw on. And that's really useful when you want to start making sort of presentations on your Mac that you can draw on, and it sort of saves you kind of setting up stuff on both the iPad and the Mac. But yeah, like you can, and then on the Mac as well, if we're talking about videos, you can also, we talked about this, you can also you could bring in a browser on the Mac and play a YouTube video, and you'd be able to draw on that as well. So there's all sorts of different ways of getting video in. And then I thought I'd show a few little drawing tricks. Where are we up to? I think we're going to make good time today. So a few little drawing tricks. Right, if you're trying to draw a little box, and you're saying like that, I'm doing software, so I'm saying like, okay, we've got so Video Pencil runs on the iPad, then you've got CueCam, and then you've got Zoom. You can actually just go like Video Pencil, CueCam, that doesn't work, Zoom, and we can sort of like, it's very easy to quickly add labels to things using live titles, which is a trademark feature that I created initially in Shoot. You just draw an underline and speak and hold your finger down until it's finished. So I can just go like, I'm on the iPad. If I sort of hold the iPad like where it is, I can sort of pretend I'm doing it. I can say, hello, right, and that's going to now appear. So, and I can sort of move that around and sort of play with it. Pro tip, if you go into the eraser tool and go pixel eraser and just like tap that once, now with the selection tool, you can select the letters and like move them around, and sort of, you can sort of like muck about like that. But another thing that you may have just seen there is using CueCam, I can have one drawing down here, and then when I use a side 3D, I'm actually back to a different drawing. So if I'm in the middle of a presentation, I can come up to this full screen mode and just do a little aside and say, actually, like the first thing you've got to know is this, and the second thing you've got to know is this. And then when I come back down to the sort of the main slide, then if I had an image or something shared here, then that would appear here. So there's loads of little things that like you just couldn't do this with NDI, right? Another thing, I showed you the when there's items in your media library here, if you long press on this, you're going to get a few little sort of extra things you can do. So you can add pause points. So if there's a video, I've just noticed that I'm showing add pause points on a thing that isn't a video. So we're always discovering issues. Let's try this one. Oh, that's an image. Oh no, it's a video. So if I do this, so you see there's a little video player in there, and if I decided I wanted to make it sort of stop on this frame, I could change the thumbnail frame. I could say add a pause there, draw on this, and now you see we've got this little pause point up here. God, look at him. This is from ages ago. So we see it's going to stop when it gets to that point, and then we can continue. We can change the playback speed if we want to make it look super freaky, like well, nice and slow, or like sort of like double speed. And there's the little 5. I do mean to like make a sort of more sophisticated scrubber at some point, but I still haven't quite figured out what I want that user interface, how that to work. Another thing, like CueCam, Video Pencil does actually have a picture-in-picture, but you don't really need that if you're using it with CueCam. But another thing, we can actually, I'm going to long press on this one here, and I'm going to hit trace this instead of draw on this. Right, so now, and I think the easiest way to show this is, if I want to, be nostalgic to slightly less awful times, I could like trace over something. Although that's you're seeing some debugging stuff. Let me just turn off should recognize shapes and do that again. But yeah, so if you just what you can do here is you can load in an image and just like sort of move it around to where you want it, and let's say we want the TikTok logo, and then you could just like trace over that. And so something I thought this would be quite good for is like say, and then if you press up here, like that's gonna just sort of like hide that so you can see what you've got. You've got your undo, of course. Like the undo, I've tried to be sort of relatively like sophisticated with that, so it's easy to get back something if you accidentally deleted something. But yeah, we could do a tracing image like that, and maybe we'd sort of like grab, I don't know, maybe we want the Twitch logo as well. We'd sort of like want to draw that quickly as well. I don't quite know how long I'm expecting people to spend drawing sort of in a live situation, but sometimes you might just want to be able to sort of do something a bit more beautiful. And what I like about this is I thought like you could maybe have like a sheet which is like loads of different things that you might want to be talking about. So if I'm like, okay, here's your Mac, I could just sort of like trace a nice drawing of a Mac. You sort of get all the proportions right, although this is an AI generated one, so the proportions are unlikely to be right. So I might sort of draw the Mac, I could sort of see what that's going to be, and then I could sort of like pan it around and go, okay, now we're going to draw the iPhone, and I've got something to trace now to get the proportions of that just about right. So there's some ways, if you're not like brilliant at drawing, that I'm putting in to make that work a bit better. And what you saw there was future. These are actually a couple of future things. Just the ability to. I haven't quite done the shape detection. Oops. The shape detection thing, but like because I don't know what's going on when I try and do circles, but you can see it's sort of like doing some stuff. I've sort of vaguely got triangles working. I think lines would be really useful to have. Oh, you see that did a live title, but that's the thing. Like when you're talking and testing stuff without talking, you discover different things. But yeah, so there's a few different little drawing tricks, and I think that was the main stuff I was gonna talk about. Yeah, so I think and then like yeah, the only other thing I'd mention is if we get rid of the tracing image, yeah, just the fact that I can have my you can actually have your CueCam script comes through into Video Pencil, and if I I can sort of trigger aside from this button up here, and you can sort of drag that into the corner if you want that to be a bit more compact, and you've still got that aside button. And when I want to go to my next slide, I can do that from the iPad, and that's really cool if you're sort of across the room or something, and I know that's a popular thing to do. Popular, it's a thing that some people do. So that's sort of like crash course in Video Pencil. Sort of using it with via CueCam, which is the recommended way to do it. Video Pencil Camera is the previous way that I recommended to do it, and then the previous way before that was CueCam. Was just like eCam or OBS. But the latest and greatest, basically, QAM Presenter has Video Pencil Camera in its heart. It's like using a lot of code from Video Pencil Camera because the project just kept getting more interesting, and then I realized it needed to be its own thing. So at some point Video Pencil Camera will be sort of like getting smaller and sort of like trying to push you towards QAM more and more, but without ever making that a paid thing when you didn't have to pay before, right? So that's that's all I've got for you today, and then we're going to do the next section, which is break the fourth wall time. There's supposed to be. I had a video that played. Do I need to go next? Oh, I'm disappointed. What happened with my little video clip? Okay, where's my QCam window? Sorry guys. I'm a professional. Oh, it's because I already dragged it over to the new window. But I don't know why my little break the fourth wall video is not. I know how to make it work, but this is not ideal. Debugging tools. Unload. Where is it? I was going to unload that. I'm going to unload that. I'm going to make sure that I'm monitoring. Please do my little stupid thing. Okay, doesn't want to do break the fourth wall time. Right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to show you what I just did. So, sorry for the distractions. So this is my script for this week. So we'll go back up to the top, and I noticed last week so something I did not spot. So the first card controls eCam Live and puts it onto a muted scene. So when I presented this last week and started talking about it, it went onto the muted eCam scene. So basically I've got QCam's video output is just basically one scene in eCam and then another scene that's muted QCam thing, because I used to actually, I probably don't need the muted scene anymore, to be honest. But yeah, that was the thing. But you see, it's all my eCam scenes sort of come through to this drop down, so I can just sort of like switch to the right one, so it comes onto the QCam on the second card. So when I'm in the Zoom breakout room in After Hours, I'm showing the sort of episode number, I'm showing that it's in the breakout room, and then when we come to the second one, it goes to like starting soon Squares TV. So I have this little loop. It has the countdown timer. Also, I get rid of my picture-in-picture. And then we have, this is a card with a music attachment. So it's a music loop, which is set to loop. It's set to be pretty quiet. So it's just like something to sort of be playing when I come and do my cold open. And then this is my little bit of teleprompter stuff that I wrote for that. And then basically when you play music in QCam, it's just going to keep going until it either finishes or gets a stop message. So then what I actually had a card that was here by mistake. So that's why when I went next, it didn't go into this. Right, so you see that sort of like played a little video, and if we look at that, we see it's set to, the end action is set to next card, and so it's just a short little clip, plays through, has a little sound in it, and just goes through to the next card, where we have our title. So this is like the title here, so each week I just update that, to the next number. Same up there, I've got it twice now. But you see how I write this as one flow. So welcome to Squares TV App Lab number 81, which is also coming in over here, where we talk about blah blah blah. So this is why I do the kind of markdown approach to the script writing, because it means that I can, like, my teleprompter can have that. And I'll just show you what my teleprompter looks like actually. So my teleprompter window looks like this. So you see, like, here's my here's what I'm looking at. It's just got the text of what I've got to say. Just showing up in there. So if we come back to the script, and then I had, I've got my little, so this is a lower third style, so I just put in an image of an arrow, so you see that's like exclamation mark arrow.png, we can sort of see that, it just looks like an arrow, but because it's using this lower third layout, it appears to the side, and then any text sort of goes one above the other, so you actually see, like, Michael Forrest is up there, and then like Maker is down there, and in fact I should sort of probably just put I'm Michael Forrest, and I make apps. In fact, I could, yeah. So that's how that card works, and then the next card is like a video background, and it's got a little title on it, and then again that one is set to next card when it finishes so that we don't end up on an awkward freeze. And then you see the music's fading out now. And that's because I've got a little stop action. It's set to fade out over 5 seconds, so we get just a gradual fade out of that intro section. And then I just go into update. So you see I've got some notes. I just wrote some notes for myself. Wrote some notes, my main job this week, and then I put my little segue about the baby. So we come to the baby. I didn't trim this one, but I could have sort of gone trim and sort of like made sure that sort of like ends after the funny bit, but I just sort of left it because I knew I'd be sort of keen to continue. And then we come into the video pencil stuff. So this blackboard I generated I tried like 2 or 3 different AI prompts and sort of ended up with this. It was like fine. The framing is awful, but you sort of end up with that. But you see I'm using the bullet points, but I also had to put in, so actually like if you do want to draw the bullet point symbol, so stars mean that when we play this, it's going to come in one at a time. I just want to make sure you're seeing what I think you're seeing. Let's just see. Oh yeah, sorry, we're on the editor. So if I look back at the virtual camera, we should see. Oh, I don't know what's happening now. I think we got, yeah, okay. So that animation is there. So when we press next here, it's going to do the next bullet, next bullet, next bullet. And I did actually want these to be bullets, which is why it has the star, which means it like appears one at a time. And then it has like a bullet point character, which you get. So the asterisk is on Shift 8, but if you press Alt or Option 8, then you get the bullet point character. So you do so to get a bullet point, you do star that. Because I tried doing like, you'll see in my thing. I thought like maybe let's do some colourful, different rainbow colours for these bullets, but because I've got such a bright pink background, it didn't come out so well. So I just sort of put them as circles, standard circles. And then again, like we've got some more bullet points, next, next, next. And you see I've got like my little notes under there as well. You can use a mag, next, 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 next. And then we've got a card on setting it up. And then I've got a card on like, okay, this is what you need. On your iPad, this. On your Mac, this. So I'm trying to sort of say it over and over again. Then we've got a little bit more about what QCam is, and then this is like the installation video. So I played that, and I just sort of like used this control. This control also appears in the teleprompter window. In future it will be on the iPad as well, and I'm trying to come up with a better gesture for it. But yeah, so I just sort of like went through that, kind of pausing it as we went along. And then yeah, like another some more bullet points. You need this, 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 this. And then when I went over to share, notice what's going to happen when we come to the share. So yes, it's drawing on your webcam. So then you see here we've got sharing my iPad. Are we going to get that? Okay, you can see that. So you'll see I'm sharing the iPad screen, but you'll see it's also got this like the chrome around it, around the edges. It's got like an iPad frame, and that's actually something that QCam does for you. And it will pop it up now, but you see when you're sharing an iPad. If we go into, how does this work? Oh yeah, so if you click on there, you're actually going to get a drop down with a load of different device frames, and basically just find the one that's sort of it's not like an exact science. I found that, I mean, this isn't an iPad Air 2019, but it seems to have the right frame. So just sort of go through and see if you can find the iPad or iPhone that like is the right phone, and it will just. QCam will just do that for you, and then it just looks super cool when you go into Aside 3D as well. So that's how I was sharing the iPad. And also when you're sharing an iPad, it doesn't send that back to the iPad so that you don't get this like infinite loop of video in there. And then yeah, we had some drawing on desktop, drawing a picture, drawing on a video. I meant to put a few more notes in drawing tricks. I only had a couple in the end. And then break the fourth wall time. And then we got the video that didn't work apparently, which is supposed to be someone smashing a wall. So I don't know why that didn't come through. I noticed a couple of video playback things, and I'm going to cry. And then that's the doc. So fourth wall broken. End demo mode. comments, questions. I'm going to hold on for a minute in case anyone's got anything to add. But otherwise, I suppose CueCam might be telling me. I like that a few people are on. I like that the YouTube stream isn't completely dead. Yeah, if you've got any thoughts, comments, questions, I'll hold on for a second. So sort of throw them into chat, or if you want to, like Ron, say hi on Zoom, you can do that as well. Discord is where we hang out normally. There's a couple of hundred people on there, maybe even more now. I keep seeing new people joining. That's where you can get help when I'm asleep, which is, if you're in America, that's going to be like generally when you need me. So to play us out this week is a video that has gone missing that I had set up before. Is it where was it? Recents. So I'm just gonna, like, while I wait for you to tell me any questions, I'm just gonna go hunting down the video that I decided to use, but I guess I forgot to actually drag in recent folders, Instagram vignettes. It's like I've got like 3 folders on my Mac with the same name, and one of them's got a load of cool videos in it, and another one has got a load of files that I use to make the cool videos. So okay, here we go. So I was just going to do I've just decided to show you this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag a video on and say, hold Alt, say leave in place, and since I don't think I see any questions, which I'm surprised, because I thought that was going to be pretty unclear and pretty confused because I procrastinated till the very last minute to get it ready. I'm going to say I have noticed a pretty consistent, you see I just made my email window too big and the colour fully changed. I reckon about 4 hours gets you a good production using CueCam, whether that's a TikTok video or a live stream. I think it gets you a pretty good production with not too much work. So I think that's something I'm going to be leaning into. I think 4 hours gets you a good show, or a TikTok video with over 4,500 views in a week. So yeah, I'll just thank you for watching, and yeah, thank you so much for your attention. Please feel free to reach out whenever you have questions. I will always answer them. I'm a bit behind on my emails this week. I'm trying to catch up. We were on a train. So I'm trying to catch up with those, but some of the things that were asked in those emails I have covered on this stream. But yeah, like, keep an eye out for the new website for Video Pencil, because that's going to, all this stuff that I've been talking about is going to be sort of like updated on the website soon. But I just thought I'd like use this stream to structure my thoughts. But yeah, with that, thank you so much for watching. I do this every week, even when I don't want to, and I always do a bit of planning. We always get a decent bit of production. I hope I don't and ah too much, because even though it's live, I don't want to waste your time, and I just want to like give you something useful. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you soon. And this is a crazy project of mine where I it's too complicated to explain, but like there's a JavaScript based 3D engine, there is a Eurorack based wireless Bluetooth sending signals back and forth. Basically, it means that the little thing dances along in time to what's going on, and it looks like this. This is with my OP1 as well, and it's going to sound pretty bad, but hey, here it is. And if it doesn't work that way, I'm just going to drag it on. And if it doesn't work that way, I'm going to quit and come back. Drag that into the window. Okay, good.